All right, so Karen Jones sent me this letter, and I think you guys are going to find it really interesting. There's a few parts. First, Emity, I unblocked you from chat. You're more than welcome to come back in. But I mentioned in my earlier live stream about this message here that Karen sent me the other night. 2 days ago, this was sent, July 9th. Let me read it to you. Injecting in the public eye. Hi, AB. Let me highlight this so I can read it properly from a distance. Hi, AB. I have supposed that you noticed Emity, someone who thinks that they are being clever. I rewatched your broadcast this morning, and I just noted Emity's comments. Frick, what leakage? I couldn't believe it. At 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 48 seconds, he says of Daniel, in relation to the kids, that he is the only one injecting them in the public eye. Look on your live chat. He really wrote that, injecting them in the public eye. Holy shit. Anyway, I think you should give him the floor. He says he was there at the family fight. He says that he was with Jordan. Who was Jordan? Another brother. Well, Jordan is Darren Jr. That's Darren Getty's son, isn't it? I know chat goes by fast, but he uses a lot of all caps. Okay. I guess I look at everybody as if they're female. I didn't know it was a guy. I didn't catch that, but... All right. So these individual says that he was there with Jordan. I completely missed that. Emity, if you're watching, go check in the comments section. Let me know if that's accurate. The only reason I'm concerned if that's accurate or not, then I can really truly know that you're full of shit because you're Darren Getty's son and you're taking Daniel at his words because, of course, you know him. So, all that aside, that was the first little introduction there as to a follow-up from our live stream earlier. Now, yeah, but my retort to that then, Karen Jones, isn't that the same Emity who was in my chat the other day claiming that they broke the Zodiac Killer's cryptic code and they were just checking it through Grok in that sense? I don't know how much. I think they're just a naysayer. I don't know, but maybe you're right. You keep on the case. But anyway, she sent me an interesting article we're going to look at right now. Malaya's father was 24 when she was born. The brother, Ralph, with the link here. You are right. Haley is a skank. She's the type who would offer to beat the shite out of you if her boyfriend looks sideways at you. Notice none of them want to address the CPS issue. Let me highlight that again so I can read it properly. Why would Derwin tell us that Janie was filling a pothole? Why didn't he tell us what was in the cabinet? Or what she had for supper? Filler. It's all filler. Everyone was in shock when they saw the condition of the trailer. I think Malaya went into rehab for a couple of weeks on the reserve. Maybe. That was why she was silent. And the rumors of her being on reserve, this illegal tobacco thing is real. She sent me another link. On the first day, the major crimes guy said that there was a constitutional issue. I wonder what that was. Very late. Good night. Take care, Karen. Let's go take a look at this particular article she sent me from her father. I'm pretty sure you'll find it interesting. So the title to this is Nova Scotia Police Force Arrest. 8 in prescription rug bust. There's a picture there of him holding all a bunch of tablets. What is that? Truro, Nova Scotia. Police Service Chief David McNeil shows off some prescription hydromorphone pills. The service just concluded a 2-month investigation that saw 8 prescription pill traffickers arrested and charged. Interesting. Congratulations. Goes on to say 8 people have been arrested after a 2-month investigation into the trafficking of these particular pills. The Truro Police Service has dubbed the investigation Operation Impact and called in assistance from the H Division RCMP. I wonder what H stands for. It's actually not really a town of Truro issue, but across Canada, the abuse of these drugs is becoming more prevalent, said Chief David McNeil about prescription drugs, especially hydromorphone. Almost every community across the provinces are dealing with this issue, and we knew there were some individuals in our community that were involved in the trafficking of these drugs. Well, isn't that interesting, Karen? Of the 8 individuals arrested, 6 are Truro residents, while the remaining 2 have addresses in Salmon River. These rugs are becoming the rug of choice with addicts. They are very powerful and very addictive, said McNeil. There are a host of spin-off crimes that we see from these addictions. It's a cycle. If we can eliminate some of the suppliers, it will be more difficult to obtain these drugs, and hopefully it will help some people kick the addiction. Well, how's that battle going? McNeil said the police service is making prescription pill trafficking a top priority because of the effect it has on not just the addict, but the families and community as well. It is our hope that by consistently targeting people who sell prescription pills in our community, it will help those who are battling with substance dependence seek treatment and overcome their addiction. Heaven forbid they ever go after Big Pharma in that sense, right? Ever hold those people accountable for anything. They've already done the damage. They've already done the damage to the communities in that sense. By convincing people certain things aren't as addictive as they really actually are. Profiteering off the backs of the downfalls of the great American dream in that sense. 6 of the 8 arrested have been released and are scheduled to appear in Truro Provincial Court in the near future. 2 remain in custody awaiting bail hearing and are also facing multiple counts of failing to comply with undertakings. Nice word. Love it. These of the 3 of the 8 who have been charged hold prescription for hydromorphone-based painkillers. Ooh. While Operation Impact has concluded, McNeil, however, stressed that investigations into trafficking prescription pills will continue. Through our investigations, we were able to glean that there are more people in the community involved in this, so that there will be investigation as equally aggressively, he says. The public is encouraged to contact the police to address illegal drug issues, especially if one thinks illegal activity is taking place in their neighborhood. Anyone wishing to contact the Truro Police Service can do so by calling 895-5351 through the Facebook page or emailing police@truro.ca. Information can also be given through the Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. So here we go. Those arrested and charged in Operation Impact. Henry Joseph Brooks. That'll be Dad right there. 41 of 36 Lineman Street, Truro. Charged with 3 counts of trafficking hydromorphone, 4 counts of failing to comply with an undertaking, like the drug bust that they're prosecuting you for. They charge you for not complying. Isn't it natural that the person doesn't want to comply? Talk about piling them on. 1 count of possessing a concealed weapon. Ooh, you like those, do you? And 1 count of possession of a prohibited weapon. Really? So he was a little bit of muscle there, too. Pretty sure that he knew how to use those weapons. There's James Arthur McPhail, Jackie Marie Noble, John Roderick Fraser, Elaine Fraser. Any of you guys out there like to hit me up in my comment section? I'd love to talk to you. Get sort of an idea of what the hell the word on the street is down there. Juanita Marie Golding, Tracy Lynn Fillmore. Man, you guys got played. You done played yourselves. Got caught up in the game. Henry Joseph Brooks, 41 of 36 Lineman Street, Truro. Charged with 3 counts of trafficking these particular hydromorphs, 4 counts of failing to comply with an undertaking. That's really interesting. The 1 count of possessing a concealed weapon and 1 count of possession of a prohibited weapon. Probably one and the same. That's prohibited and you concealed it. See what they did there? What a bunch of pricks. But good job in this case. So this is Malaya Brooks' father, allegedly. Oh, yeah. You see this dude on your screen right here? You know who this is? This is Ralph Martel, bro. Ralph Martel. Is this the brother to old, what's his name? Daniel Martel? Wouldn't you know it? We were talking about the potentials for there being violence involved in this, and his name got brought up. Guess what he's got a Canada-wide warrant out for him on? Intimate partner violence in that sense. Heaven forbid. Let's take a read of this article. This is coming at you from November 8th, 2023. Is that Natalie Lombard? Man charged with assault wanted in Nova Scotia wide warrant. Well, you weren't getting far, were you? The RCMP has obtained a Nova Scotia wide arrest warrant for a man accused of intimate partner violence. Police say the alleged incidents happened between November 2022 and November of this year in Lance, Nova Scotia. Ralph Martel is charged with assault with a weapon, 11 counts of failure to comply with conditions of a release order. Oh, I wonder what the story is with this guy. Police say the 32-year-old may be living in Pictou County. Martel is described as a 5'8", 145. Oh, he's a strapping little feller. He's a midget with dark brown hair and blue eyes. He's just a little guy. He's mad. He's just a teeny weeny little fellow. 5 foot. He's a flyweight. Anyone who sees Martel or knows where he may be, he could be around anything. Underneath a little stone, a pebble. Maybe he blew away in the wind. Is asked to call East Hants District RCMP at 902-883-7077 or Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers. You don't really have to update. We know where Ralphie is here. Ralph Martel, eh? So we got think about everything we have in the lives of these children. Violent individuals, probably addicted to the glass dick. All have very little patience. There's all of the ingredients here to make one hell of a cake. A cake of destruction for these children and their environment. This is not a safe environment for children whatsoever. How the hell did Malaya get hooked up running with this crew? Could you imagine being an option, moving in with Ralph here and the old lady out back and the Unabomber way out in the back 40 in his cabin? Something's weird here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. You know these individuals? Let me know in the comment section below. So getting back and finalizing this off. Let me reread this. Did I miss anything? So Karen says, you were right. Haley is a skank. I knew it. She's the type who would offer to beat the crap out of you if her boyfriend looks at you sideways. Another reason I think she's probably a woman. Notice none of them want to address the CPS issue. Why would Derwin tell us that Janie was filling in a pothole? He had to place her outside because there was all kinds of cover-up of any sort of evidence coming up for the phone call that they were going to plant into the RCMP to report these kids missing. I'm sure they got a great plan for it. But it's falling through. Filler. All filler, Karen says. What is this Millbrook? What is this? Let me go check it out. So Karen, you can answer me. Is this Gucci, this dude who is the chief of this particular Micmac Reserve, Millbrook First Nation counselor? Is this the lawyer that she ran to, in this sense? Is that the suspicion? Excuse me, Chris Gugu, or is just an example you're showing me about the issue at hand? This issue is kind of a problem, not just this dude specifically, but across Canada. Like even here in the London area, you have different groups. Like first you go to the res and there'll be 25 or 30 different places, buildings that sell cannabis in that sense, and unregistered tobacco. I personally don't care about it. I kind of encourage it. I say, if it makes you money, go right ahead. I don't really care. Where I have a problem is when you talk about downtown London and in different places where people pay taxes, that they come in and set up an illegal cannabis industry. And I'm not propping for the establishment. I'm just a part of the legal cannabis industry and wellness industry. That's what I don't like. And they have and do that almost consistently. It undermines all the other stores, obviously, around and things like that. But that's my own beliefs. But I'm curious to know whether or not this individual involved in this article has any connection to the particular case. All right, so friends, to wrap up this short episode, we're going to read this particular comment from a sketchy mofo. All right, comment of the day. The FU of the day goes to ibean5740 a couple hours ago. There was absolutely nothing wrong or disrespectful in a blood grandmother contacting anyone when it concerns two grandkids missing. What I find defensive, you mean offensive, you absolute moron. What I find defensive is this channel downing people left and right. Talk about you're not the smartest one on the block, are you, stupid? Smelling jealousy, in my opinion. Like, what am I jealous of? What would I possibly be jealous of? Belinda Gray? Them being in this circumstance? You're absolutely clueless, you skid. Learn how to pronounce the actual name of my indigenous people in Nova Scotia, because it's insulting to say the least. Have the day you deserve. Yeah, I pronounced it properly. Micmac. All right? You don't like the way I pronounce it? That's not my problem, baby. You just want to play a little bit of identity politics in my comment section, but you already outed yourself as an ignorant hoe. What did I respond down there? I responded to her 4 times. I said, why don't you shut your mouth? Nobody cares. What is there to be jealous about? You can't spell or pronounce anything. You're the one. What did I say? I misspelled there. That was a typo. You're the one disrespecting others' opinion, but we can see you are too narrow of mind to realize how contradictory this comment is, biatch. By the way, who said there was anything wrong? Stop gaslighting, whore. That's how it's pronounced in English. Micmac, like Big Mac, moron. Oh, yeah. That's a great one. That's what I like. All kinds of nasty troll comments so I can just get my release. Kim McCann, N6Y, says, hi, I'm from Toronto, Canada. What I think about this is that they had a party on Thursday. The kids got into something and passed away. Then they all had something to do with this to cover it up. Yeah, I get what you're saying. By the way, Daniel and Malaya, on the day of the kids were missing, how they showed emotions, or they didn't show emotions or asked for help at all. Malaya left that same day the kids were missing. That shows she already knew that they were gone. My heart goes out to Lilly and Jack. Yeah, here's a great point. And it's worth mentioning right here. 1962 Melody. Belinda has rights as a grandmother to see the kids. Not really, not legally, but morally, you would think she does. You're not going to go, if the parents don't want you to see that child, you're not going to have any rights. There has to be an agreement, okay? But I understand what you're trying to say. Yet she never went to court for 2 years. Yeah, Belinda has rights as a grandmother to see the kids, yet she never went to court for 2 years. She, as a grandparent, has no rights. You can make a party. You can do... Has no rights. Has no rights to see the kids. That is false. That's false, unfortunately. Believe me, I've already snubbed my daughter's grandparents out of our lives. I already went through that. They've got nothing. Some people need to be snubbed out of people's lives in order to keep them safe in that circumstance. Now, So sadly, that's not right, but she still makes a good point. Yet she never went to court for 2 years. Shame on it's a criming shame for using these people for clicks and views in that sense. Belinda needs a lawyer because she's been sucked into a money-making scam. Yeah, they're working her over there. They're using her in that sense. And Belinda, she's a boomer. She doesn't know the difference. Friends, hit me up in the comments section below. Let me know what you feel. Peace.